Welcome back to the Student Hub Live. Well, this is our Refreshers Orientation event to welcome new students to the Open University. And it's a whole day event. It's live, online, interactive chat. You can ask any questions, talk to each other and let us know how you're thinking, how you're feeling, where you are, which level you're studying and in which area you're studying. Now, I've got a team on our hot desk of roving people, from students to people from our student support team to members of staff. Scott and Nabila, how is everybody out there today?
Looks like they're asking lots of questions already.
Good.
And Nabila's been very busy answering those. You want to?
Yeah, we have. We've got loads of helpful students even helping other students, such as Amy helping Charanjeet. We've just been talking about going to the student support team if you ever need help. And yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a very good link, Nabila, because I'm joined now to talk about the student support team with Dudley and Naziba, who both work at the student support team. Now, students may not know about the student support team, which is one of the best sources of support for students in addition to their tutor. The tutor covers a lot of the academic stuff, but the student support team cover pretty much everything else. So I'm here to explore what that everything else is.
That's a really good way of describing us and an excellent segue. Yeah, so we pretty much, as senior advisors, we advise and support students in any way we can. And that can be in relation to from the very start to the very end, throughout the whole process. And we cover pretty much everything that, if from a sort of school environment, if you had that tutor that used to register in the morning and then your subject teacher was kind of is now the tutor in the university environment, we're more like the tutor that you used to meet in the mornings. We can do your registration, we can talk about study skills, study support and things of that nature.
Can you talk about biscuit cocktails or give any advice on them?
I found out about this today. Did you find out this today?
Apparently biscuits are very last season, and actually it's about combining biscuits with other things. But students have many of which there are some interesting concoctions. There are many concerns that students have, but I bet you a lot of them don't thinking about calling you about certain things. So what can they phone you up or email or text you about?
Pretty much anything. We just like to have a conversation with them first about anything, so we don't want to restrict them, because any conversation can just start with any problems or any challenges that they're facing, or sometimes it's just nice to have a chat with them just to ease them into starting their studies, or if they're in the middle of their studies, continuing with it. So yeah, I guess it just varies. Like, you can just kind of call us at any point during the studies.
Now, students would obviously call you if there were problems, right? So say something's happened or they can't submit their assignment, the dogs ate their homework, or various things going on. That's an obvious sort of thing. Tell us about some of the problems that are commonly put on your desk.
So it could be sort of navigation.
Go
be
ahead.
an issue.
It's mostly, I guess, a lot of our students are working full time, so it is really hard to plan your studies, and with everything else going on with your family and just other social commitments, it's really hard to kind of balance your studies as well as working. So that's the most sort of frequent challenge that I think I come across, and it's just trying to basically settle them down and say, look, you've come this far. Yeah. Even at registration point, you've come this far, because that's a big step for some people if they haven't studied in a while. And that's one of the main sort of issues I've come across.
Now, you mentioned navigation, which I think is a really important one, because of course when you know the OU system, it's really easy to find stuff, right? When you don't, it's a nightmare, and especially if you don't know what you're looking for, like where do I go to book my tutorials, where do I find my tutor, where's my assignment? That can be hard, especially if you don't know that your assignments are all listed on your module website. So how do you help students with navigation, Dudley?
So often it can be that obviously they contact us. They can contact us through all the methods that you sort of described: email, phone, and we can sort of, if they're at a computer, that's most helpful.
Yes.
If not, we can obviously send them instructions. We can sort of work through finding things for them and helping them. And with just navigating student home, module websites, help centre. There's a whole slew of different things that we can sort of go through it over together, talking it through, looking at stuff, and if they have any questions that crop up, it's really nice just so we have that dialogue and just go, oh yeah, I can see how I could use this, or I didn't know I had access to this yet. Oh, I can look ahead at this, and this is going to open up on this date. So it comes from just a dialogue with the student about where to find things and how to do it, and then we can just show them most easily if they're at a computer as well.
Yeah.
It's normally they like doing it together.
But there is so much. I mean, you get so much as an OU student, especially if you go to the library. You can be in there for hours and hours, and then there's the career service, and there's help centre, and there is so much there. So how do you help students then prioritise what's important? If, for example, they are time poor and they're in a flap going, I need to know what I need to know now. I don't care about the trimmings.
I guess we try to find out a little bit more about them first, because when they call through to the phone, it's most important to kind of build a rapport with every student, and we want them to be comfortable and know that we're here for them. What do you...
I think sometimes, yeah, I do agree, and I think sometimes it's finding out what's going to be most important for them. Recently, I've been talking to students about TMAs and looking ahead at assignments, because starting from my own study, I used to always like to know what I'm working towards, and some students don't know that they can access the TMAs early through the module website, have a look at how it's structured, what I'm actually going to be asked and working towards. So sometimes it can be recommending, well, this is what I would, this is all the things that I would look at, and then they might have different concerns that, like academic writing, I haven't written an essay in a long time, and then priorities can change based on whatever the student thinks is going to be most useful for them.
Yeah. Now, in one of my earlier sessions, some of my guests were saying that if students have a disability or a mental health condition, they should tell the student support team about it. How might they go about doing that, and what happens then with that information?
So we're good as a first point of contact, and we do have a disability support team specifically. I don't know if you've spoken to them already today, or if I think they come up a bit later, but they are the ones that can put in place additional support. So through the OU, there's natural support. We can module tutorials are recorded.
Yeah.
Different modules can come in different forms and different mediums. They can be differentiated, so you can look at audiobook versions possibly, or PDFs, Word, physical copies, and then if you speak to the disability support team, you can put in additional support, and that can be possibly individual support sessions, it could be additional exam arrangements, and things of that nature as well.
And it's just important for them just to be comfortable in telling us, because some students, they study and they have all different kinds of things, and they don't actually want any support with having these, if they have mental health conditions or any health conditions, they don't actually want any support, and they just want to go through it. But we want to have that chat with them to say, look, it's fine, like tell us about it so we can actually support you through it with these conditions.
Yeah.
So.
In particular, home examinations for people who need them can be just such a relief at a time that can be stressful anyway. Well, thank you so much. Now, we've got our Student Hub Live hierarchy of needs. That is another of our mad ideas, and what we've done is we've thought about all things that are important to OU students, and I've asked guests to come along and put something on the hierarchy of needs. We've got at the top apples, tea and chocolate biscuits. Other sorts of biscuits. Student Hub Live was just the logo, but actually I think that should be a really important hierarchy. Music, comics, post-it notes, wood, which is about having a log for something, family, black fizzy drinks of different branded options, and a daylight bulb. What have you two bought?
I have brought a planner, because I think this is really important.
Okay.
Just to start off with. Shall I pop it on there?
Yes, you can do.
Anywhere?
Yes, anywhere that you can find a pen. And we've also got our porpoise as well, which is about having a purpose in life. And have you bought anything?
Yes, I brought this jolly good fellow. He's obviously body confident, which is something that we can all strive for, but also affirmative in his little head nod, relaxation, a representative of meditation, thinking back on things, and also a perfect timekeeper. So truly a jack of all trades and a master of most of them.
Naziba, if you could put that on for us, that would be brilliant. Well, thank you so much for introducing us to the student support team. And we're now going to take a look in the student support team, which was over the road on campus. So we're going to show you around there. Then we'll be back for our next session, which is going to be another student story with Alice. And we'll see you soon.